for keratoconus, or in other terms, keratoconus and contact lenses. So whenever a patient come with a keratoconus or diagnosed with a keratoconus, so first thing comes into mind is that this patient need contact lenses for visual rehabilitation. So first I will discuss about a little bit about keratoconus. What is keratoconus? Very brief, and more about I will discuss topographical features, what kind of topography we expect in a keratoconus patients, and then I will discuss uh, not how to do a contact lens fitting in a keratoconus patient, but just to mm, explain what are the different kind of fittings and how the fitting is difficult or easy in a keratoconus. So just to start with a definition, keratoconus is considered normally as a benign, usually bilateral, even if it is a uniocular. In some patient, you will get only unilateral, but over the period of time, that unilateral also changes into bilateral conditions. So usually, it is a bilateral and non-inflammatory. However, not everyone agree on this thing that keratoconus is non-inflammatory condition. There are some authors, researchers who consider or they consider keratoconus as an inflammatory condition, as it has been seen happens in inflammatory condition also, like allergic conjunctivitis, where there is a lot of inflammation in the eye and eventually the condition leads into the keratoconus. So it is a bilateral non-inflammatory thinning and ectasia of the cornea. So ectasia is simply the protrusion of the eyeball, or in this case, in keratoconus, is the protrusion of the cornea. That partially happens because of the intraocular pressure. The cornea becomes thin, and because of the intraocular pressure, the cornea bulges out, and we say it as ectasia, which in at end results in a high degree of irregular astigmatism as well as refractive error. So normally the one of the hallmark of keratoconus is that the keratoconus cornea would be having a cone. So there are different kind of cone, which I will be discussing in the further slides. So one of the hallmark is that the position of cone would be the inferior, normally infero-central or infero-temporal or nasal. So here this is a keratoconus cornea, which is having a RGP contact lenses over it. So as I was discussing, one of the hallmark of keratoconus is that you will see cone. There are broadly three kind of cones that has been discussed in the literature. First one is the nipple cone or central cone, and then you have a oval cone, and then the globus cone. So if you see this picture very carefully, so in the nipple cone or central cone, the cone would be in the central 2 mm diameter. Usually the cone would be anywhere in the central 2 mm diameter, and the diameter of cone would be very small. So if you compare a nipple cone with an oval cone, so here the oval cone is usually would be greater than, usually the cone would be shifted outside the 2 mm area. So it occupy more than 2 mm area of the central portion of the cornea. So and usually the cone, this protrusion diameter would be large, and globus, as the name suggests, so globus kind of usually uh, involve a larger area of the cornea, and you will see a very large ectasia. So these are the broadly three cones. Eventually a oval cone uh, in some patient leads to the globus cone, but it is not necessary that all oval cone would be shifted into the globus cone, but in some patient it has been seen. So moving further, so let again understand this cone from the OCT picture. So this is the anterior segment OCT picture of the cornea, as we can see with their corresponding topographical picture. So this first picture is the is a picture of central cone or nipple cone. So if you see in this central cone or nipple cone, the cone is usually remain within the central 2 mm area, or some part of this cone would be within the central 2 mm. So this block, this black circle is basically representing the central 2 mm area. So mostly and the central is the geometric center of the cornea. And so here the some part of cone is, most of the part of the cone is, and the most steeper part of the cone is the color that we are seeing, it is in the central 2 mm. So that's why it's categorized as the central cone or nipple cone. If you see the oval cone, so it is more a kind of shifted inward nasally, or in some cases it is inward temporally, it is shifted. Mostly the shifting is towards the temporal area. So if you see the OCT picture of that cornea, so we are seeing the highest, the more protrusion point is here in this area. So it is not centered, it is a slightly shifted infratemporally. So, and even this protrusion area is large, so that's why it's oval cone. And this is a PMD. So PMD is very easy to identify by seeing this topographical feature only. So in PMD, we'll see this characteristic butterfly pattern. We say this, or we categorize, or we name this pattern as a butterfly pattern. It is also in some literature also said as a kissing bird pattern. So this two pattern appears as a bird. So one of the characteristic feature of the PMD is that, but in a topographical feature, you will see against the rule astigmatism. And here, against the rule astigmatism is something which is very rare. You will not see against the rule astigmatism normally. That's why it is called against the rule astigmatism. So it is very easy to identify. So you are seeing there is a very steep pattern in the horizontal meridian, and the vertical meridian is very flat. So it is against the rule. And this characteristic butterfly or kissing bird pattern is the hallmark of pellucid marginal degeneration. If you see the cornea, you will see ectasia in the very inferior cornea, thinning of the cornea inferiorly. It was very in from 5 to 7 o'clock position, and because of that there will be the bulging the cone. And this is the globus. So this cone is so much advanced, so you are seeing this is a kind of involving, the ectasia is involved almost all the cornea, even this topographical feature. The ectasia is so advanced that even the topography is not able to capture the whole cornea picture. So that is a keratoglobus. So in terms of contact lens fitting, these corneas are very easy to fit. Not very easy to fit, but easy to fit when we compare with this oval cornea or PMD or keratoglobus cornea to fit with the contact lenses. So some more information in the keratoconus. We can classify keratoconus on the basis of K reading into mild, moderate, advanced, and severe. So less than 45 diopter, if the K reading is steeper K is less than 45 diopter, and topography is showing the features of keratoconus, then that will be considered as a mild. Moderate would be 45 to 52, advanced would be between 52 to 65, and severe keratoconus, any steep K reading greater than 62 diopter would be considered as a very severe keratoconus. So moving further, what kind of cornea is this? Can anyone explain what kind of cornea is this?
Sir, central cone.
I'll let the interns speak. So what kind of cornea is this? If you see the topography.
So as we can see centrally, the dioptric power is very really high. It's just around 74 to 71 in 90-degree and 45-degree axis. So it's a central cone keratoconus.
Mm. Central cone. So we are seeing that the cornea is stiffening in the center, and as well as what is the other thing we are noticing here is this. Uh, the this is the kind of asymmetric bow tie, means your this is the bow kind of pattern, and in the superior it is more stiff, inferior it is less stiff, and the axis is radial or is skewed axis. So this is again the characteristic feature of keratoconus cornea. This cornea could be normal if it is very horizontal, symmetric bow tie or slight asymmetric bow tie, but the axis would be more horizontal or vertical. Here the axis is the radial or skewed axis. So this is a kind of central cone and which is fitted with a rose case. So even in the one of the problem in fitting central cone is that you will find this kind of fitting. What is one thing that you think that is abnormal in this fluorescein pattern of contact lens fit, or that can be improved?
So it is not ideally filled. The fluorescent pattern is not ideal. Like in the inferior, there is no fluorescent, and superior is more fluorescent.
Fluorescein, more fluorescein. Okay.
So pattern of fluorescent is not ideal. Like 3 point touch होता है ना वो नहीं है. Superiorly ज़्यादा है और
So
inferiorly बहुत कम है.
okay. So we are seeing that there is a contact lens bearing on the center of the cornea. The contact lens is bearing, resting on the center of the cornea, and that eventually, when the patient start wearing these lenses, and that will rub on the central cornea, and eventually it will cause SPKs, and then in turn can lead to the corneal scar. But sometimes it's very difficult to get a apical clearance, or that lens should not touch this apical area or this very high area, because the cornea is so much steep in the center. So sometimes very less choice you are having in fitting contact lenses. So this is one of the classification system for keratoconus. So there are different classifications. So one of the classification where you classify contact lens whether this cornea is having keratoconus or not. So this is we are saying the asymmetric bow. This is the bow tie. Means if you see in the topography this kind of feature, means a stippling feature. So you this is we call bow tie, and this bow tie is the symmetric bow tie with skewed axis. So skewed radial axis means the axis is not see the inferior bow tie is axis is different, and the superior bow tie axis is a different. So the inferior bow tie axis is around 90 degree, and superior bow tie, this stiffening axis is skewed. So how much it is differing from the this central vertical? It is around 15 degrees. So any skewed radial axis, SRX is the angle between steepest radial axis, angle between steepest and the flattest radial axis, and SRX is the skewed radial axis. So if any skewed radial axis is greater than 15 degree, so that is very highly confirmatory of keratoconus. So sometimes even in the regular cornea, you see the symmetrical. So just another topographical feature that you can look while seeing the topographic map. So specifically to, especially EHs help करता है when you are confused that whether the keratoconus is the early keratoconus. In advanced keratoconus, you can very easily make out whether this cornea is having keratoconus or not. So sometimes in early keratoconus, it is difficult to differentiate early keratoconus from a regular cornea or normal cornea. So this skewed SRX is really one of the very consistent classification system and very accurate in differentiating a keratoconus cornea with a normal cornea. So going further, sorry. So here we are seeing, so what we are seeing here. So this is the right eye and this is left eye. So what kind of, okay, what kind of astigmatism we are seeing here in this or in this right and left eye? Astigmatism and pattern, what kind of pattern is it? ये तुम लोग जिसको भी आता है जल्दी
Oblique.
बोलो, बहुत टाइम लगा रहे
Sir,
हो तुम।
mirror images
Sir, oblique.
vertical is more curved than horizontal, so it is with the rule estimated, I think. Or it was already written the asymmetrical bow tie.
So in right eye oblique astigmatism, but in left eye it is with the rule astigmatism.
With the rule. So both are having symmetric bow tie pattern. And so what is different here is that the obliques, the symmetric bow tie, the axis is very oblique, if you see, but the pattern is the kind of symmetric. In left eye थोड़ा सा asymmetry है अगर superior को inferior से compare करें, but the axis is oblique. So और skewed pattern जो है हमारा skewed है bow tie pattern. So this is very classical of keratoconus. In normal cornea, you will not get this much skewing. It is about more than 50 degree. ठीक है, तो अगर यही बिल्कुल horizontal होता, so it is a normal cornea. So there is what pattern is this? What will say this pattern? Topography pattern.
Globus pattern, sir.
No, it is not globus pattern.
Asymmetric bow tie.
Okay, anything else? It is asymmetric bow tie with you have to
Superior step.
add so with superior stiffening. So we are seeing bow tie both here, the inferior also and the superior also. There is a bow tie pattern, but superiorly it's showing more steeper. So we will say that this is a asymmetric bow tie pattern with superior stiffening. So again, अगर आप यहाँ radial axis देखोगे या skewing देखोगे, तो it is not too much as we have seen in the previous picture, but here the asymmetry is too much. So even the asymmetry between the superior and inferior portion is very strongly suspect of keratoconus. Normally, asymmetry of more than 1.5 diopter on any single point. Suppose if the K reading at this point is 48 and K reading is this point is 52. So the difference is at the same point. This point is 48 and corresponding point of this here is 52. The difference is asymmetry is 4 diopter. So any symmetry more than 1.5 diopter is very much diagnostic of keratoconus. So you also do not have to look at the keratometry reading. Only this pattern can you give you tell you that this cornea is having keratoconus. What is here? Pattern.
It's an irregular cornea with superior steepening.
Okay, so here we are seeing that this is a kind of asymmetric bow tie with superior stiffening. So this is again bow tie and this is also bow tie. So asymmetric bow tie with superior stiffening, and there is also irregularity. So then you have a flat surface here and then again you are having irregularity here. So sometimes you will see there are a lot of cornea having keratoconus which will not fit into the regular keratoconus shapes that we have read about, like bow tie pattern or butterfly pattern, whatever pattern. So sometimes you will get a case in those will not fit in any kind of pattern. So you only have to look for the irregularity. So this cornea is having too much irregularity. What is this? All that is written there. So what is this? If you can see the fluorescein pattern, and can you tell us and can you tell about the cornea, why we are seeing this kind of fluorescein pattern in this cornea? So
The
this
lens
cornea,
is resting centrally.
okay, so you are seeing the lens is resting at two places, this place, and so
Okay.
this cornea is having double cone. So normally in a keratoconus cornea, you have only single cone. The single cone could be nipple cone, oval cone, or globus cone. But you can also come across a cornea of keratoconus which could have a double cone. It is very rare, but this also is one of the possibility. And fitting these corneas with RGB lenses are almost not possible, because this of the fitting we are seeing too much apical bearing. The lens is resting on the steepest part of the cornea and it is too much bearing. So this patient is not going to comfortable with the lenses. The lens will rub too much the cornea, and it will also cause lot of rubbing of the cornea and cause SPKs a lot, and eventually that will lead to the corneal scarring. And also the lens centration would be never be good. So in this kind of cases, square lenses are only option. So some of the early features of the early keratoconus feature that their mean K would be less than 50 diopter. You have a very small area of irregularity. Like here we are seeing a asymmetric bow tie with inferior stiffening, but irregularity is very small, not a very high irregularity we are seeing. Mm. So some decrease in corrected even these kind of patient would be having good vision with the spectacle, although you will not able to get 20/20 vision, but their vision would be satisfactory even with the spectacle, and they can manage with the spectacle. But if they need very sharp vision, then they have to go for the contact lenses. Uh, So a nipple or central cone is small or paracentral cone basically. So as you're seeing this, and usually, okay. So earlier I was just saying that it should be within 2 mm. So actually that was wrong. Actually it should be within less than 5 mm diameter. So this black ring is 5 mm. So your nipple cone is that if the steepest portion of the cornea is within 5 mm diameter of the geometrical center of the cornea. So it should be geometrical center. So if it is within 5 mm diameter of the geometrical center, the steepest part or most steepest part of the cornea, then it would be categorized as the nipple cone. So normally the cone diameter ranges between 2 to 4 mm, and they are very steeply curved in the center. The curve would be very steep. And oval cone. Okay, so oval cone is same as like cone diameter is 5 to 6. Only thing is that it will occupy a large area, and while fitting contact lenses in a cornea which is having oval cone, you need to have a large diameter lenses. It means a diameter should be between 10.5 or between 10 to 10.5. Normally in a nipple cone, the diameter we take is 9 or less than 9 mm. ओके सो अभी मेरी वॉइस आ रही है क्या और इट्स ब्रेकिंग टू मच
सर अभी आ रही है
भी आ रही So this is again one of the example of inferior stiffening. Again, the cone is here is a globus cone. So advance मैंने बताया जैसे it is like anything between 50 to 60 the mean K value. Keratometry you cannot do in this kind of patient. You have to do topography and very advanced according to K reading you will get in the nipple cone also, in the oval cone also, in the globus cone also. So advanced cone का feature क्या है? So one of the advanced cone feature is that you will see a very severe stiffening in the topography picture. And the slit lamp, you will see the apical scarring. The cone becomes so advanced, so there will be the wax striae, and sometimes because of too much stretching of the cornea, and if this patient using contact lenses, so this apical scarring is one of the feature that you will see in the advanced cornea. So advanced cone would be having scarring in their corneas. And this is the globus cone. So globus cone basically ये नीचे वाला picture जो topography picture है वो show कर रहा है. So it involves up to 75% of the cornea. So largest area of thinning. So the thinning would be extended toward a very large area of the cornea. So globus cones are very difficult to fit with RGP lenses. आपका normal जो RGP lenses होता है, we normally require a very special kind of lenses, और बहुत ज़्यादा time में only option you have is a scleral lenses to fit this globus cone, because cone इतना बड़ा होता है कि whenever you are going to put a RGP lenses, eventually the lenses are going to pop out from the cornea. So if you see from the side, you will see a globus cone. मतलब आपको ये uniformly 360 degree आपको thinning दिखेगा, and the cone and the cornea will appear as a like a globus cone. So these are very hard to fit, और इसमें astigmatism would be very high also. So coming to the management of keratoconus, so I have put it one thing here is the spectacle. So why whenever you are managing a patient with a keratoconus, you also should be considered to give a pair of spectacle to that patient, because many times what happen, a patient who are using contact lenses and patients who are having keratoconus and using contact lenses, they are so much dependent on their contact lenses, because contact lenses are only giving them clear vision. So most of the time they end up with wearing long hours of contact lens wear, और ओवर वेयर होने की वजह से क्या होता है कि they will have sometimes they will come to the clinic with symptoms like severe SPKs on the cornea, and sometimes there could be some inflammation, and that time you have to tell patient that you have to discontinue your lenses for at least 1 week or till the condition resolve. So if that time the patient does not have a pair of backup glasses, so they will not be having a very good vision with the glasses, but they will not having glasses and not having contact lenses, then their vision would be very poor. So that's why having a backup pair or giving a backup pair of spectacle is always necessary or kind of important when you are fitting a patient of keratoconus with contact lenses. Spectacle also can prevent a kind of overwear of the lenses, because we tell them that when you're going outside or when you need more visual work, then use your contact lenses, and when you are in your home and you are kind of relaxing, then take out your lenses and put your spectacles. Your vision would not be very clear, but your eyes will get more time to refresh itself. So that's why I always consider giving a spectacle, a backup pair of spectacle. In the early keratoconus, even patient would be having good vision with the spectacles. So there are different kind of fitting option when we are talking about contact lenses. Even in the contact lenses, there are different fitting options that patients are having with keratoconus, patients having keratoconus. So what contact lens, what are the different contact lens option I will discuss in the next slide. But whatever option you are choosing for the contact lens or you are advising to the contact lens, you have to choose according to that. You have to see that the best possible lenses which maintain the good corneal health and also should provide a good and comfortable vision. And there is no such thing that if one patient fitted very well with scleral lenses, so every keratoconus patient would be comfortable with scleral lenses. So we have a very classical example of this thing. We have one patient. His keratoconus is in advanced keratoconus category, and he's having nipple cone. So he was using contact lenses or using contact lenses at least since last 15-20 years, as history he is giving. Since last 8 years I am seeing him. So 5 years back we have shifted that patient to the RGP lenses, Rose-K lenses. So, and he was very comfortable with Rose-K lenses, and just last year we have shifted him to the scleral lenses. And why we have shifted scleral lenses? Because the cornea becomes very steep, and we are seeing a lot of apical bearing with the RGP lenses on the cornea. So that is not that would be not very good for the corneal health in long term. So seeing that, we advise them the scleral lenses. But what happened? The patient used scleral lenses for 3 months, and then he come back to us again, and then he was having his RGP lenses, Rose-K lenses with him. So he discontinued scleral lenses and he started using again the RGP lenses. So it becomes totally opposite. And till now, all the other patients, those on whom we have shifted to scleral lenses, they are more comfortable with scleral lenses than RGP lenses. So the thing not mean that your all patient would be very comfortable with scleral lenses. And if your one patient is very comfortable with RGP lenses, that does not mean that your all other patient will be very comfortable with RGP lenses. RGP means Rose-K. Rose-K is also a RGP lens. Hello. आवाज नहीं आ रही है?
आ रही है आवाज से।
Okay. Okay. मेरी voice आ रही है नहीं आ रही है? I don't know.
Yes sir, आ रही है
Yes,
sir.
आ रही है।
Okay, ठीक है. मैं इधर आ रही है सबको आवाज. So there is no such thing as one size fits all in keratoconus. So you need a, I will say, fitting a keratoconus patient, you need a little bit experience. Just reading in the books, seeing some videos, and that will help you to understand the theory. But unless you have yourself fitted in at least 5-10 patient, you will not understand that how the lens is going to behave with this cornea. And these keratoconus patient also having a very different kind of behavior in their outlook towards everything. So that is another thing. But from the fitting perspective, because each keratoconus cornea is different from the other keratoconus cornea. So you need a little bit experience and skills to do a lot of customization, because mostly, suppose if you're fitting a Rose-K lenses, so in Rose-K lenses, there are a lot of customization options are there. Customization means you can change the contact lens periphery design, you can change the contact lens central design. So for that, you need a little bit experience apart from your theory knowledge. So these are the different contact lens correction options that are available to the contact lens patient, keratoconus patients. So gas permeable, we in India say it as a RGP, rigid gas permeable, but mostly across the world it is known as a gas permeable lenses, because people do not consider anymore that GP lenses are rigid. That's why they have removed that rigid word. So most nowadays it is called as a GP lenses on. So it is a more conventional way of correcting keratoconus, and most widely used method of correcting keratoconus. So this is the lens, how it looks, RGP lens. And please remember this rose scale lenses are also RGP lenses. Rose scale lenses is not a different lens. Even this is a scleral lenses. Scleral lens is also a RGP lens. Design is different. Its design cover the sclera. And this GP lens is the classical GP that we know is basically the corneal lenses because it fit on the cornea. So it is also called as a corneal lenses. So, but the material is same. Even the scleral is same material that is having RGP. Then there are special kind of soft lenses that has come up for the keratoconus, and one of the very famous company that made those lenses, and those lenses are available by the name of Kerasoft. So Kerasoft are, it is a soft lenses which is specifically made up for the keratoconus patient. This is one of the example of the Kerasoft lenses. So you can see the lenses are quite thicker, even if it is soft, but it is quite thicker. Then piggyback lenses, you cannot see here. The piggyback lens picture is not here, but piggyback is what you put a soft lenses, and over a soft you put a RGP lenses. And then hybrid lenses is this. In the center you are having a RGP material, in the periphery there is a soft material. So that's why it is called a hybrid lenses. Then scleral lenses, this is scleral. And then there are some scleral prosthetic device. One of example of a scleral prosthetic device is the PROS lenses. So I will discuss one by one. So let's first discuss about the GP lenses or RGP lenses. So it is one of the conventional and historical way of correcting keratoconus. The material is rigid, but nowadays with coming up of with the more new materials, the materials are not so much more rigid as it was earlier. It is very highly customizable. So one of the great thing about RGB lenses, you can change the diameter, there's an infinite number of diameter, base curve, edge modification you can do in this. So that's why these lenses are so much helpful. So since it is very highly customizable, and you can give any amount of refractive error correction. So pros are very simple lens handling. Even for patient, the handling is very easy, to putting the lenses into the eye and taking out lenses from the outside. Taking out lenses from the eye, it is very easy. So handling is easy. And since the lenses are small, so care and maintenance is also very easy. And it provides good vision. Even RGP lenses, you will surprised to know that RGB lenses give more superior vision than scleral lenses. So in that term, it is really having a very good optical correction option, and it is having good durability. There is no age. Like in soft lenses, you have monthly disposable, yearly disposable. In RGB, there is no age. The patient can continue with this lens for as long time, and till the time there is no scratches and deposits on the lenses. So if the patient is taking a very good care and maintenance of the lenses, the patient can use these lenses for 4 years, 5 years. So there is no anything that you have to discard in this period of time. So what is the problem with the RGB lenses? So bigger, and the most troublesome problem with the RGB lenses is that comfort. So if those of you who have putted RGB lenses in their eyes, they know that how it feels in the eyes. So initially it becomes very irritating. You will feel like some foreign body has been in your eyes. So that's why the comfort is a big issue. But eventually the patient, the cornea adapt to the lenses when once patient start wearing these lenses. So this is just one topography picture of right and left eye. So what do you think? Which eye is having advanced or more kind of severe keratoconus? किसी में भी नहीं है.
Sir, second one, sir.
Second one is having severe keratoconus. Okay, so it's very evident. The right eye is having the second picture is more having severe keratoconus. So fitting this would be more challenging than fitting this cornea. So while fitting contact lens with RGP lenses, something would help you while fitting. So like RGP fitting is the first option of correcting keratoconus. If you are having corneal topography report with you, or if you can ask patient to go for a corneal topography, and if you have that corneal topography report with you, it really help you understand that how the cornea is and how the lens is going to rest on the cornea. So that will help you more while fitting. And most important thing while fitting keratoconus with RGP lens is that you should able to identify or assess the fluorescein pattern. Single most important factor. If you are very good in assessing fluorescein pattern, then RGP fitting is very easy. It is even easier than the soft contact lenses. The only thing you have to learn more about how to interpret the fluorescein pattern that you are seeing on the patient eye. And most of the time, these RGP lenses, there are some modification you have to do while giving the final lens order. So these are the three fitting philosophies that we very common while fitting RGP contact lenses. So first philosophy say the apical bearing fitting. Apical bearing fitting also known as a flat fitting. So where the lens bear or rest on the center of the cornea, and there the peripheral cornea there will be a gap between the cornea and the lens, as you can see in this picture. So this is the lens, and this showing the cornea. So the lens is resting on the cornea. So this kind of fitting is called apical bearing fitting. So problem with this fitting is that the cornea is the lens is resting on the cornea. So when the patient will blink, the lens would be going to rub the central part of the cornea, and because of the rubbing there will be SPKs, and if it is for very long period of time, those SPKs eventually will lead up to the corneal scarring. And once the scar becomes in the center of the cornea, you hardly can do anything. So if the scarring is the center, the patient visual acuity will be reduced significantly. So that's why apical bearing fitting is not acceptable or should not be aimed for. This 3-point touch fitting is a kind of very accepted. This 2 and 3rd point, and there will be very minimal central touch. So what would happen because of this 3-point touch? The lens weight is going to distribute evenly, uniformly throughout the cornea, and because of that, the lens is the chances of lens rubbing cornea is very less, and because of that, there will be no any harmful effect on the cornea because of the contact lenses. So this is a more kind of accepted fitting philosophy, 3-point touch. So, but there is a problem with 3-point touch also. So what is the problem with 3-point touch fitting is? So even the 3-point touch is lenses is also touching the central part, very small area of central cornea, and any touch by the contact lens on the cornea in the long term is going to cause some SPKs there, because the contact lens is rubbing the cornea. And we do not want a contact lens to rub a central part of a cornea, because rubbing a central part of a cornea means there will be some problem in the cornea, and eventually that is going to cause scarring, and that is again leads to some problem in the vision. So that's why nowadays contact lens, scleral contact lens becomes so much popular, and more number of ophthalmologists and the optometrists are advising patient to go for the scleral lenses. So reason that scleral lenses do not touch the cornea at all. It totally rests on the sclera. So your cornea is very safe in terms of rubbing cornea with the contact lenses. So this is a 3-point touch, and this is the we call apical clearance fitting. So this philosophy of contact lens fitting is called as a apical clearance, which is also known as a steep fitting. So what we are seeing here, so the lens is resting on is these two places in these two peripheral areas, and there is a significant gap between the cornea and the lens, and so you will see a lot of fluorescein there. So because of that, what happened in this is this apical clearance fitting. So there is an additional layer of tear between the contact lenses and the cornea, and in sometimes that cause less oxygen transmission to the cornea, and also this kind of fitting would be having not a very good vision, because there is a tear layer, the thicker tear layer, the patient visual acuity would also not be very good. And if this lens is not fitted very centrally, means lens का centration बहुत अच्छा नहीं है. So suppose lens यहाँ आकर center कर रहा है near वाले portion पे, so this tear layer also can cause a prismatic effect. So that's why we also do not aiming for this apical clearance fitting. So ये तीनों fitting philosophy समझ में आ गया. This is very important to understand the fluorescein pattern. If you understand this three fluorescein or these three fitting philosophies, you will able to understand the fluorescein pattern that you are seeing on a contact lens while putting on a keratoconus cornea. Okay. So what kind of fitting is this? बच्चों का क्वेश्चन है.
सर एपिकल बेयरिंग.
Apical bearing.
Flat fit है.
With
Flat fit.
flat fit. Apical bearing is flat fit with we are seeing a lot of edge clearance. Edge clearance is very high. This is edge. So we are seeing a lot of fluorescein at the edge, means we say it as a edge clearance. So edge clearance is very large. So but the problem here is that apical bearing. So apical bearing की वजह से क्या होगा? See this area. This area is also come where the pupil comes. अगर इसमें आपका scarring create होना शुरू हो गया तो your vision will be deteriorated. Means patient vision will be deteriorated. So we are not aiming for this apical bearing fitting. So the other fitting is, what kind of fitting is this?
3-point touch.
This is not 3-point touch.
ऊपर लिखा है apical clearance.
So ऊपर लिखा है उसको मत देखो ना. Just fluorescein pattern and tell me, oh, this is apical clearance. We are not seeing any touch in the apical. Touch का मतलब क्या है? जहाँ आपको कोई fluorescein pattern नहीं मिल रहा है, जैसे यहाँ आपको कोई fluorescein नहीं दिख रहा है, means ये एरिया टच कर रहा है, ये कॉर्निया का ये एरिया कॉन्टेक्ट लेंस से टच कर रहा है. ठीक है. सो जब हम क्लियरेंस कहते हैं तो क्लियरेंस का मतलब देयर इज नो टच बिटवीन द कॉर्निया एंड अ कॉन्टेक्ट लेंस. सो दिस इज अ एपिकल और एपिकल क्लियरेंस. We are seeing there is no central touch between the cornea and contact lens. And why we are seeing this? Because we are seeing a lot of fluorescein here. फ्लोरोसिन क्यों होगा यहाँ? जब कॉर्निया और कॉन्टेक्ट लेंस के बीच में गैप होगा तभी हमें फ्लोरोसिन दिखेगा, क्योंकि वहाँ फ्लोरोसिन टीयर्स के थ्रू जाके एक्युमुलेट होगा. सो दिस फिटिंग इज एक्सेप्टेबल और इट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल और व्हाट? दिस काइंड ऑफ पैटर्न एक्सेप्टेबल है या नहीं एक्सेप्टेबल है?
Acceptable.
दिस इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. मीन्स इतना ज्यादा एपिकल क्लियरेंस के होने की वजह से पेशेंट विजुअल एक्यूटी वुड बी नॉट गुड. सो इवन इफ यू आर गिविंग आरजीपी लेंसेज, पेशेंट का विजन में कोई बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं आएगा और आप कहोगे कि आरजीपी लगाने के बाद भी विजन इंप्रूव नहीं कर रहा है. क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. नाउ दिस इज द 3-point touch. So can you see the 3-point touch in this fluorescein pattern? So these are the two peripheral touch. We are not seeing any fluorescein here, means the lens is touching here, and here we are seeing a very small clearance, very small touch between the cornea and very feather touch. We say it as a feather touch. मतलब जिस तरीके से feather होता है ना, मतलब लेंस उस जगह पे रेस्ट नहीं कर रहा है, but it's touching, but very minimal touching, so that एपिकल वाले एरिया में कोई स्कारिंग या कोई फिजियोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम कॉज ना हो. Now some of you can ask me that is this apical area or apical area should be in the center? Answer me. It is apical area or it is something else? The second point.
So it is cone apex, no?
Huh. So that's why the topography is very important. So in 3-point touch, normally you want to see a fluorescein pattern where you want to see that the lens, there should be feather touch at the center of the cornea. That is not going to happen. The feather touch should be at the most steepest cornea. और keratoconus वाले cornea में normally जो steep वाला जो सबसे steepest part होता है, it is not at the center. Normally it is deviated or shifted towards inferotemporal or inferonasal area of the cornea. So you have to look for this apical touch at the steepest part of the cornea. अगर आप इस टच को सेंटर में ढूंढोगे तो आपको कभी भी नहीं मिलेगा, और ये आप सेंटर में क्रिएट करने जाओगे तो you will give a bad fitting lenses to the patient. So identifying the steepest part of the cornea is very important, and that's where a good slit lamp examination help you. क्योंकि slit lamp examination में भी आप slit बना के you can identify which part of the cornea is most bulged out. तो लेंस वहीं जाके टच करेगा mostly, and a good topographical examination also can help you to identify the steepest part. So this is a kind of very acceptable fitting where you are seeing a very minimal touch at the center, and then there is a at the apical point, and then there is a two. So this is the aim of fitting a contact lens fitting. So contact lens fitting आप जब भी करते हो तो you want this kind of appearance. Now you see there is a different kind of 3-point touch. So 3-point touch का मतलब नहीं कि आपको इस पिक्चर में जैसे दिखा है आपको वैसे ही दिखेगा हर keratoconus cornea में. This is a central cone, nipple cone keratoconus. यहाँ आपको बहुत ही सेंटर में वो टच दिखेगा. This is a oval cone, so you are shifting that. यहाँ cone का थोड़ा inferior shift है, यहाँ भी थोड़ा inferior shift है, और this is again central cone. So this is a kind of apical bearing है, not very clear here. ठीक है, but you can the point is that this apical touch would be according to the steepest part of the cornea. It is not always be in the center. That is not going to be always in the center. It differs according to the type of the cone. Okay, so coming to the second option, that is the soft contact lenses for keratoconus. अब मैं जब सॉफ्ट कॉन्टेक्ट लेंसेज फॉर keratoconus बोल रहा हूँ तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हमारे पास जो सॉफ्ट लेंसेज होते हैं जो नॉर्मल हम देते हैं that could be given. So there is a different kind of lens that is manufactured for. So these are actually soft material and highly customizable, means you can modify its curvature, its diameter, and you can give any number of power in these lenses. Highly customizable depending upon the severity. So one of the advantages of these lenses are these are the simple lens handling and care, and patient would be comfortable because these are the soft in nature. Cones would be that vision would be little bit compromised when you compare with the RGP lenses. RGP lenses would be having good vision, better vision, but even these lenses are made for the keratoconus cornea, but vision would not be as good as this RGB lenses. And comfort from the conventional, the normal soft contact lenses, अगर उससे compare करोगे comfort, तो even comfort would be little bit less. अगर soft lens से compare कर रहे हो, अगर RGB से कर रहे हो तो comfort would be more. बिकॉज ये लेंसेज थोड़े थिक होते हैं टू मेंटेन इट्स रेजिडिटी, क्योंकि अगर इसको पूरा सॉफ्ट बना लेंगे तो ये कॉन्टेक्ट लेंस कॉर्निया के शेप के अकॉर्डिंग अपने आप को चेंज कर देगा, एंड देन दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू करेक्ट द एस्टिग्मेटिज्म. थर्ड ऑप्शन, यू हैव अ पिग्गीबैक लेंस सिस्टम. सो टिल नाउ आई हैव ट्रीटेड ओनली वन पेशेंट विद पिग्गीबैक लेंसेज. जब हमारे पास स्क्रू लेंसेज का ऑप्शन नहीं था, And even and the patient were used piggyback lenses for 3-4 years, and the patient was very comfortable with piggyback lenses. So piggyback lenses में क्या होता है? Just rigid lens over soft lens. You put a soft lens first. So for example, अगर आप इस picture को देखो तो यहाँ ये edge आपको दिख रहा है. This is a soft lens. So simple, any normal silicon hydrogel soft lens of a power of 0.5 diopter minus 0.5 diopter you put on the cornea of the patient. और उसके ऊपर you put a RGP lenses according to patient corneal curvature. उसका जो sin के या average के reading है. And then you do a fluorescein pattern assessment. So यहाँ जो हम fluorescein लेते हैं, that is the high molecular weight fluorescein, so that it should not penetrate into the soft lenses. So there is a different kind of fluorescein come which we can use to that is named as a high molecular weight fluorescein. So that is used to assess the fitting over these lenses. So one of the advantages are this is the patient would be very comfortable because अपने cornea के ऊपर soft lens लगा दिया है, तो RGP lens की वजह से जो irritation होता है, that patient would not be feeling that. And sometimes these lenses are very helpful in the cornea. For example, traumatic cornea. कुछ patient होते हैं जिनका trauma की वजह से cornea तो irregular हो गया है, लेकिन साथ ही साथ पीछे का पूरा iris भी गायब हो गया है trauma की वजह से, traumatic aniridia. So piggyback lenses are really helpful in those kind of patient because irregular cornea की वजह से you cannot fit a glasses, उनका vision अच्छा नहीं होगा. And simple RGP lenses देते हो तो because of the aniridia there will be lot of glare problem. So in that kind of cornea, first you put a soft contact lens, that is which is a kind of cosmetic lens जिसमें iris pattern बना हो to mask the aniridia. And then over that you put for vision correction you put a RGP lenses. So there you can do this modification which otherwise not possible. Problem इसके साथ यही है कि handling is difficult because the patient have to do care and maintenance for two lenses, because soft lenses they need another kind of cleaning solution, and for RGP lenses the cleaning solution is different. So two lens cleaning and care maintenance required, and of course cost जो होगा would be higher because they have to use a soft contact lenses and RGB contact lenses at the same time. So they also have to purchase these soft lenses. So cost would be a little bit higher. So this is one example of the piggyback lenses over the keratoconus cornea. So you can see here, this is the soft lenses that is fitted on the cornea, and over the soft lenses, this is the RGP lenses. And it is a very good option you can fit with the patient. The patient normally are very comfortable with the piggyback lenses with a good vision. The third option you have is the hybrid lenses, as I have shown in the previous diagram. So hybrid lenses, you have a rigid GP material center. In the center you have a RGP material with a soft material skirt. The periphery is made up of a soft material. So this periphery is made up of soft material. So what would happen because so what is happening because of this? So this RGP material provide or give a very good vision of the at the irregular cornea, and because of the soft part, the lens would be more comfortable from on the cornea. So vision of GP at the center and comfort of soft across the peripheral cornea. So one of the advantages of this piggy hybrid lenses are comfort would be more, definitely comfort would be more, and the lens will be more stable because the diameter is large. Problem with hybrid lenses are again handling is difficult because in a same lens you have a RGP and you have a soft. So handling is a difficult. You have to be very careful कि जब आप इस lens को clean कर रहे हो तो you do not put pressure at these junctions जहाँ ये दोनों lens मिल रहे हैं, then the lens can tear out from their junctions, and sometimes also leads to hypoxia because RGP का oxygen permeability अच्छा होता है but soft lens का अच्छा नहीं होता है, and then in the periphery you will see the hypoxia issues. So this is one of the picture which is showing that hybrid lenses where you are seeing in the center it is RGB and the periphery it is a soft skirt. And scleral lenses is the fourth option that is nowadays becoming very popular. So the advantage of RGB scleral lenses is having large diameter lenses, but it is made up of the same material जिससे RGP बनता है. So RGP material and the scleral lenses material are the same. So it fully gives a vault on the cornea. So vault on the cornea means these lenses are not touching the cornea, these scleral lenses. And this is one of the big advantages with the scleral lenses. Since it is not touching the cornea means there is a very less chance. Since it is not touching, so there is a no corneal irritation. So patient would be very comfortable with the scleral lenses. And also there will be less chances of any kind of negative mechanical effect on the cornea because of the contact lenses. And it is very highly customizable. When I'm saying customizable means you can give any number, you can change the peripheral curvature remaining, you can keep the central curvature constant, then you can change the peripheral curvature. So there are a lot of options you have with the scleral lenses. That's why it is, they say it is a very highly customizable. So advantages are the improved comfort since it is not touching the cornea, and lens is very stable, especially those people who are having keratoconus but they are having very active lifestyle. For example, a sports person, उनको vision भी अच्छा चाहिए but they are having very active lifestyle. So for them, these lenses are really very helpful. Or even in the children, those who are having very active, they will go out, they will play. So there the RGP lenses will not work. So because the lens will come out from the eyes. So when all else has failed for therapeutic indication. So normally scleral lenses are also option in the dry IVC. So only disadvantage or problem with scleral lenses are the lens handling, because lenses are big and while you're putting on the eyes, you have to put a saline in the lens while putting on the eye. So handling is a little bit tricky and patient normally needs a 2 or 3 days training. जबकि RGP lenses training में you only give patient half an hour training and that would be enough. So this is more about scleral lenses. Scleral lenses पर हम separate class कर सकते हैं. That could be 2-3 sessions. I'm not going to discuss more about scleral lenses here. And this is the last is the scleral prosthetic device. When everything is failed, you are not even able to put the normal scleral lenses, then you can option for the prosthetic device, So what we do normally a corneal mold. So यहाँ आप mold देख रहे हो. So there is a molding material. Mold जैसे आप बनाते हो किसी भी चीज का shape करना होता है तो उसका हम mold बना देते हैं. So you can create a mold. So normally if a cornea is having this kind of cornea, you will seeing a pterygium there or pincicula. So pincicula would be elevated area. So वहाँ आप contact lens fit करोगे तो एक area elevate हो जाएगा, दूसरा area impinge हो जाएगा. तो उस kind में बहुत difficult होता है fitting. So there you can go for this scleral prosthetic device. So these are very kind of advanced lenses, but options are there. So just one point regarding care and maintenance. So if you're giving RGP lenses or material with RGP, so their care and maintenance solution is different from soft contact lens solution. So you have to keep in mind, do not prescribe a soft contact lens solution to a RGP for RGP contact lenses. And at last, it's very difficult for RGP patient. We understand this problem. Like if someone asks you, okay, आप क्या करते हो, आप क्या पढ़ाई करते हो, and you tell them that you are reading or you are studying optometry, and people will like, ये क्या होता है? So think from this perspective, it is very hard for keratoconus patient because the family or the friends with whom they are living, they do not understand their problem, what kind of problem these patients are facing, because it is a kind of rare disease and very less people even in the medical field, not from the eye, from the other medical field are aware about this condition. So sometimes it's become very frustrating for this keratoconus patient because otherwise they look very fine. When you see their eyes without straight line, they looks like totally a normal patient. So keep all those things in mind. Like you also have to deal with their psychology. So sometimes these patients are very depressed. But contact lenses are really a very helpful options in them. So that's what all about this presentation. Okay, so I have not discussed more about how to fit, because how to fit it is a very long session, long class, and for that you need a lot of training. I have given you just some basic idea about keratoconus and contact lenses. So any questions?
Sir, I have one question.
Kunchi?
Sir, like hybrid, so it is already manufactured hybrid lenses, but piggyback we can also make, like you said, the silicon hydrogel lens. Then we put RGB lens of the power. So
No,
like
so
we can make
hybrid
no
lenses are one lens only, single lens, where you center part is RGB and periphery.
RGB.
But piggyback lenses are two lenses. One is soft, one is RGB, and both could be any company. Okay. But hybrid is two lenses in a single lens. So in that term, hybrid is separate. Hybrid is a different lens. And hybrid again, hybrid lenses के साथ the cost is again one factor. Hybrid lenses are again very costly. RGB piggyback lenses depends upon कि आप soft lenses किसका ले रहे हो material का और RGB किसका ले रहे हो. So अगर hybrid और piggyback को compare करोगे तो piggyback lenses are less costlier than hybrid lenses. And even hybrid lenses are not very successful lenses. Not very few people are practicing it because not everyone is very comfortable or very satisfied with these lenses. ठीक है.
So we cannot make this. जैसे आपने बताया ना, मैं समझी कि उसको हम अपने क्लिनिक में कर सकते हैं, सिलिकॉन हाइड्रोजन लेंस लगा के, उसके ऊपर RGB पावर का पेशेंट का पुट करके
We can
वो
give.
कर सकते हैं.
कर सकते हैं. We are doing that. Everyone is doing that. So the thing is that when will you do? When you will advise patient for piggyback? The problem with piggyback lenses is it is not the first option. It would be the only option when the patient is not able to tolerate your RGB lenses. Because of the discomfort, patient is not able to adapt. Then you will advise the patient for piggyback lenses. It should not be the first option, because problem ये है कि दो lenses की वजह से the hypoxia would be more in the cornea, because two lenses the thickness will be more and the oxygen supply would be less because of these two lenses, and the patient would be having hypoxia. Cornea would be having hypoxia. So it would be the second option, not first option. Done? Any more questions?
सर मैंने एक बुक में पढ़ा था कि अगर हम किसी को केराटोकोनस सॉफ्ट लेंसेज देते हैं और अगर उसके बाद केराटोकोनस प्रोग्रेस करता है तो हम उस केस में RGP नहीं दे सकते, मतलब डिफिकल्ट होता है.
Nothing like that. The keratoconus by definition is going to progress. It is not a static condition.
नहीं सर, उसमें था कि उसके बाद RGP प्रेस्क्राइब करना डिफिकल्ट होता है उन केसेस में जिसमें हमने पहले केराटोकोनस सॉफ्ट कॉन्टैक्ट लेंसेज प्रेस्क्राइब करे हुए होते हैं.
Nothing like that. It all depends upon the fitting and what kind of lenses you are giving. So अगर fit हो रहा है lens cornea पे तो why not give?
Okay, sir.